Every now and then an athlete comes along that leaves an impact on their sport or team. Most of the time, that's a college or pro athlete. But a wrestler at Thompson High School is leaving an impact not only on the Warriors, but also the state of Alabama. Donette Logan introduces us to Brynleigh Glover.
An athlete will tell you the real work is done in the off-season. During this time, they are normally looking for ways to stay ahead of the competition. And what Brynleigh Glover found to keep her in shape led to a new passion and a movement in Alabama.
I found out that they worked out in the mornings, and my volleyball season had ended, and I was like, I want something to keep me in shape. So I went to my first 6 a.m., and they were actually wrestling and not lifting. And so Coach Welton had given me a pair of shoes and showed me some moves, and I just fell in love with it.
You heard correct. Brynleigh turned to what is normally an all-male sport to stay in shape and ended up walking away with a new love for wrestling. The Alabama High School Athletic Association doesn't recognize girls wrestling as a sanctioned sport just yet, but Brynleigh wants to help change that.
I caught attention of a lot of schools because I was like, Thompson has a huge wrestling program, and then when they heard, like, wow, they have a girl on the team who's like actually committed to this, it caught attention of a lot of people, and then I kept going and just kept grinding on the mat, and it just all led together, and we had our own girls team this year.
I couldn't be more proud of Brynleigh, and I think mainly for the reason that she stepped outside the norm and blazed her own trail. She is a trailblazer for girls in our community.
From 7th grade to 11th grade, Brynleigh helped guide these new female athletes through the first year of Thompson's wrestling team, earning her the nickname Mother Hen.
So basically it was the week of the middle schoolers' first match. We call it the red and black duels. We just wrestle each other. And so they had gotten their headgear, and I was fixing their headgear, pulling the strings and everything to fit it on their head. And Coach Barnes was like, wow, she's like the mother hen of the group. And then they all just laughed, and it just kind of caught on. Since I'm the senior and the oldest girl in the group, they all looked up to me as someone to take care of them.
But what about the sport Brynleigh was staying in shape for when all of this started?
So I'm the libero on my volleyball team, and so I have to stay very low to the ground, just like diving on the floor to get balls up. And for wrestling, it's the same position. Like, I want to be close. I want to be able to grab my opponent's leg if I have to. And so it just kind of correlates together.
I think it takes a lot of leg strength to play Brynleigh's position in volleyball. Going into our season, there was a big question mark surrounding the libero position. Like, we did not know. We knew there was going to be fierce competition for it, and this girl right here, she just stepped right up and she just took it and ran with it. And when you wrestle, you kind of want to be closer to the ground, right? And being a libero, you're playing closer to the ground because you're diving on the floor after balls. And but Brynleigh's commitment to strength and conditioning and just becoming a really strong physical type female athlete, I think just set her up for success in the wrestling ring.
And success she has had. Now, one question she normally gets asked, how do the guys feel about the ladies being on the mats?
When they realized that these girls were here to wrestle and they were actually super interested, they caught on to it, and they gave them the room on the mat once they realized that these girls were ready to wrestle.
But what about the guys away from the sport?
I've actually had a couple guys tell me that they call me like the muscle head at school, and like they say I walk around with like an intimidating look, but I'm kind of short compared to most people, so I don't really see it. But yeah, they do see an intimidating person walking through the halls.
That work ethic that got her the nickname Musclehead around Thompson High School also landed her a dual sports scholarship.
I'm going to the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky for volleyball and wrestling.
Proud of her. She's overcome a lot of adversity in her life, and she's made herself who she is today, and they're getting a really great student athlete at the University of the Cumberland.
Brynleigh plans to major in biology and hopes when she comes back home to visit, she sees girls wrestling as a sanctioned sport. Donette Logan, High School Sports Weekly.
When it comes to an injury, you shouldn't have to be a professional athlete to get professional care. In fact, you shouldn't have to be an athlete at all. At OS1, we understand that orthopedic injuries occur to all types of people at all times of the day. Our convenient location allows you to get immediate attention without having to go to an emergency room. We have on-site digital X-ray and MRI, and our sports medicine specialists are fellowship trained and are here to get you back to it, whatever it might be. The best part is that OS1 is generally less expensive than the ER, and our decreased wait times make sure you are able to spend less time waiting and more time getting better. For more information or to book an appointment, please visit our website at bettersooner.com or just come to our Hoover location. OS1 Sports Injury Clinic. Get better sooner.